Hello. Today, I feel kind of nervous for this video just because it's something I've never talked about on YouTube, but today I am talking about female sexuality, my experience with my sexuality, and just embracing my body and trying to encourage other people with similar body parts as me to embrace their body. So I've been more open about sex and sexuality on stuff like Instagram over the last few years, and I thought it was only time for me to share my thoughts on YouTube. Also, if you at any point see this stain on my shirt, honestly, I just noticed it. I have no clue what it is. I'm also filming on my phone because something is wrong with my SD card, so if the quality of this video isn't up to your standards, I'm sorry, but this is an important thing to talk about, so I didn't feel like waiting till I had a new SD card. I just want to film this and get this video out as soon as possible, just because I feel really strongly that we should talk more about this, just to help prevent confusion, help prevent isolation, and help prevent like insecurities and so much more when it comes to our bodies. So I made notes because I just wanted to make sure I didn't forget what I wanted to talk about. I have 3 categories. The first category, I'm gonna tell you guys about this book. Second category, my personal experience, and then the third category being like sex toys. So let's talk about this book. I don't know what happened to the cover. I'm missing this piece too, but this book is called For Yourself, The Fulfillment of Female Sexuality. I found this at a thrift store for literally 25 cents. And I just was intrigued to read more about female sexuality. On the cover, it says a guide to achieving orgasms. I also just want to like have a little disclaimer. This video is not meant to make anybody uncomfortable. If you don't feel comfortable hearing about or talking about sex, then just maybe don't watch this, but I want this to be informational. I already am orgasmic. That's not why I picked this book up. It was just to have more knowledge of female sexuality. I was curious to see if there was any stigmas or history in this book that I personally didn't already know, because if you look at the back, the author's photo looks like it was taken a while ago. And actually, when I started reading this, I found out that this was written in the 70s. So things have obviously changed, and like I just said, I wanted to see how times compare now to back then. Potatoes. This is literally my second breakfast. Lately I've been eating 2 breakfasts and I'm not upset about it. I was gonna film this video yesterday, but I was just so tired. For some reason I was feeling kind of anxious for no reason at all. And I just could not film because that energy would have came out in the video and it just probably wouldn't have been as enjoyable to watch. I'm hoping this video is enjoyable. I think I just want to say this really quick. Honor yourself. Yesterday, at the end of the day, I started feeling less anxious and a lot better. And I just took a minute to thank myself for giving myself a break, not being so pressured to get the most done yesterday, because like I said, it was like a weird day. If you're having a weird day, just honor yourself, take a break. It's okay to have an off day, and it's okay to take a day off. Okay, let's get into the video. There's a few points that I wrote down that I want to talk about that were in the book, but I highly recommend picking this up for yourself if you are interested. It's just a great book. Some stigmas that I want to share with you guys that just totally blew my mind, and why I feel like it's important to continue talking about female sexuality in particular. Back in the day, it was believed that sex was obviously created for like reproducing and stuff like that, but it was believed that only men experienced pleasure from sex. A lot of women also believed that men only experienced pleasure from sex because there wasn't really any information teaching how to stimulate a woman. So a lot of people thought that sex was for men and only men. I don't know all the facts or all the little details on this point in particular, but this is something that I vividly remember in the book. Oral sex was illegal. My next point you'll hear about, and I think this is why it was illegal. Obviously, I don't think people were just like doing that to each other on the streets. So I'm not sure how people were punished for doing that. But I think it was illegal because it was thought and believed that by performing oral sex or by touching a woman's vagina, you could contract an illness or a disease or even die from it. Like, just by touching a woman's vagina, they thought you could die. But there were little rumors or theories or thoughts going around that you would get like herpes or warts or bumps or infections on your fingers and on your mouth and stuff like that. And I think that theory came about because my next point, which was talked about in the book, it was believed that women are and were dirty down there because of our natural scent. Vaginas have a natural scent. That's just inevitable. At one point in the book, the author wrote how back then young girls were taught to use separate washcloths for their face versus their private parts, which I guess that's personal preference, but it was taught that you would like get a disease if anything touched your vagina and then went anywhere else on your body. So I'm assuming because of these thoughts, women were not educated on their, like, as physical bodies and stimulating themselves and masturbating and stuff like that, because yeah, I guess it wasn't even like the thought of doing that wasn't even a possibility. So a lot of women and humans with vaginas didn't know how to, like, not necessarily didn't know how to masturbate because people were still doing it, they just weren't talking about it. So when it came to down to safety and health and all of that, because so many people were embarrassed to admit what they were doing, there was no information to share about, like, I guess just sexual health for women. Let's just get down to it. Masturbating is extremely healthy for multiple reasons. Letting out that release of orgasm is a good ass feeling, but also just learning your body and being in tune with your body is, I think, one of the most incredible experiences. I just feel like to better understand yourself in all categories and in all aspects of life, you gotta understand yourself sexually. But that's just my opinion. There's plenty of other stigmas that were talked about in this book, but those were just the few that stood out to me the most. The biggest, I think, point of this book is talking about how to achieve an orgasm, which is literally what it says, a guide to achieving orgasm. So if you're curious on how to achieve an orgasm, obviously you can use Google, but I really like the process of reading about it. I thought it was just a different experience reading about it. Now I'm going to share my experience with my sexuality and the point in my life when I started embracing my sexuality. I've been sexually active since I was a teenager, but being sexually active with my own self and learning about and experimenting with masturbating only happened for me when I was 20, which everybody's different. Some people explore that part of their bodies at an earlier age, some people at a later age. Everybody's different. So I don't feel weird at all about the age that I started doing that. I just feel like it was the time for me. And yeah, but I think what encouraged me to start learning about myself in that way was having friends that were more open about their sexuality and having people that I felt comfortable talking to. Also, I had just moved to California when I was 20, so I made new friends, and these new people just made me feel way more accepted and comfortable in who I was. Back in Florida, I didn't have like a close group of girlfriends. I don't even remember having one good girlfriend. Like, my best friend Angelina moved to Kentucky, and yeah, it was just, I didn't have anybody like in person that I could just talk to about this, so I didn't, and I just avoided it. I feel like it took me up until I was 20 because, like I said, not having anybody I felt comfortable talking to, not really hearing much about it. I mean, I knew what porn was, I knew what sex was, I knew what masturbation was, I knew what all of these things were, but I didn't even know where to start, like what to do. I honestly didn't even really care because I thought I was fulfilled sexually, but it's a completely different experience solo versus partner. Learning more about my body has helped me become so much more in tune mentally, physically, spiritually. I don't know if that sounds silly, but just learning about myself. It's just a different layer of who I am. That's kind of why I didn't do it up until I was 20, why I felt comfortable learning about it at 20, and then once I started experimenting with it, it was a weird process in the beginning because I didn't think I could orgasm by masturbating. I didn't really know how to make myself. So I kind of was like, I don't really need to do this. Like, this isn't for me. But after practicing, because I think it's something that some people might need to practice, I don't know. But after practicing for a few months, I eventually learned what I like and what works for me. I'm so sexy. This is such a good song. So fitting right now. It's called Fancy by Pip Millett. She's one of my favorite, I think that's how you pronounce her name, but she's one of my favorite artists, and this song just makes me feel good. I started it over. I kissed your mouth, you kissed my face. We taste like the backbone. I'm so fancy, I'm so sexy. High as ever before. Last category is sex toys. I've tried so many vibrators and things over the last few years, and I feel like I'm still learning and learning. I don't feel like I'll ever stop learning anything in life, but in particular right now, I am still learning about toys and the endless range that there seems to be. In my experience, I've tried, I don't even know what they're called. Like, I don't even know if there's like actual names for them, but there's some that stimulate your clit in particular, some that stimulate your G-spot or both at the same time, some that help you and your partner like at the same time. So there's a lot. But I actually am so thankful. A company called Osuga sent me some vibrators that I'm gonna share with you. Their products in particular opened my eyes to like what a vibrator could be, because these things don't even look like a vibrator to me. Just to explain what I mean when I say this doesn't even look like a vibrator. So these are the two that they sent me. And this one looks like a bird. This one's actually called, what is this one called? G-Spa. And then this one is called, what is this one called? The Cuddly Bird. They literally look like little birds, but they're so cute. Like, these are the cutest vibrators I've ever seen in my life. Like, what? Let's start with the birdie. The G, what is this one called again? I already forgot. This one's called the G-Spa. On the bottom here, you'll see these two buttons. One controls the vibrating part on this end, and then the other button controls the sucking part on this end. And you can also use them both at the same time. What I'm loving the most about this is just how minimal it is. It's just one product or one item that can do so many different things and so many different things at once. And you know me, minimal. So I do love that this is multifunctional and it's so soft. I mean, I've only ever tried silicone vibrators, so silicone is soft, but I don't know, the softness of these is just different than any vibrator that I've had. This one's actually really squishy. Like, it's squishier than this one. The sucking on this has 3 different speeds, and the vibrating part of this has 7 different speeds. So when I say it's multifunctional, I also mean it's super customizable. Like, you can experiment a lot with this. Now, the Cuddly Bird. This one also has 2 buttons. One controls the vibrating setting, and it's almost as if the whole body of this vibrates. And then one controls the sucking section, or sucking part. The sucking part has 3 different settings, and the vibrating part has 4 different settings. So again, experiment, figure out what you like. Both of these products, like I said, are silicone. They're both waterproof, so you can use them in the shower. And something that I really appreciate, because I have not owned any other vibrator that does this, if you hold down the buttons on the bottom for 5 seconds, it locks the vibrator, and then you have to hold the buttons down for another 5 seconds to unlock them. And I love that because In the past, when traveling, I definitely have experienced my vibrator going off in my bag and being like, oh shit, like I hope nobody knows what that is, and having to like scramble through my stuff to turn it off. So I really love that you can lock these and they won't just randomly turn on in your bag. So yeah, those are my thoughts on vibrators. If you are interested in checking their website out, you can use my code Liz10 to save $10 off of each of their products. I'll leave all of their information down in my description box. I was just really grateful to be able to try these out, to review them for you guys, and just grateful for the different experience that I had. So yeah, I guess that's all I wanted to cover, those 3 topics. I just want to re-emphasize how normal and natural it is to discover yourself sexually, and how healthy it is for so many reasons. Physically, like I said, it's healthy to release that built up emotion, but also just mentally and psychologically, I truly believe it's healthy, like I keep saying, to be in tune with your body, and for you to learn your body before letting somebody else learn your body. I don't know. Like I said, I didn't used to like feel this way or think like this, and it's just something I've been practicing and learning more about over the last 3 years, and it's just made me feel more secure in myself, more fulfilled as a woman. It may just seem like it's just masturbation, but I don't know. Give it a shot if you haven't. If you don't want to, don't. Like, I'm not trying to push anyone. If something like fear is holding you back, or stigmas or embarrassment, check out this book, please, because this author, she's actually a sex therapist who wrote that book, and she just talks you through practical steps and practices that you can try for yourself to feel more comfortable looking at your naked body, touching your naked body, and enjoying your naked body. So yeah, I hope this video wasn't weird. It wasn't weird for me to talk about because I'm just so comfortable talking about this stuff now. But I hope that through this, I can maybe like inspire somebody else to feel comfortable talking about this, or not even talking about it, but if the first step is maybe just like talking to yourself in a sense and listening to your body before talking to somebody else, then do what you gotta do. Take it at your own pace. But I hope that this video can inspire somebody to just attempt to be more in tune with their physical body and pleasure. I guess that's gonna be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed watching it, and I truly hope it was helpful. Oh my god. This little fly has been in my room for days, and I normally have my bedroom door open at all times, so I don't know why it doesn't leave. I hope you were able to learn something from this video, or somehow be encouraged from this video. If you did enjoy it, please thumbs this up, and please subscribe to my channel, and I will catch you guys in my next video. I hope you have a great day. Bye.